Self-Care Solutions, your solution to self-care. This is the app for meditation, so breathe in and out. Very good. Breathe in and breathe out. Excellent. Now, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Keep going. Breathe in. Breathe in.
I can't breathe
What?
in anymore.
What was that?
I can't breathe in anymore.
Yes, you can. Just breathe in.
I can't breathe in
Yes,
anymore.
you can. Breathe in. Try eating the air. There you go. Eat it. Now, once you're done eating it, hold your breath for 17, 16.
Why are you starting so hot?
What? You made me lose my train of thought. I'll have to start over. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 2, 1. Breathe out. Are you breathing out? I'm gonna have to start over. 17, 16.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Oh, there I am. Hey, how's it going? It's me, Pop Daddy. Pop Daddy. That's mostly a work joke. There's a product called Pop Daddy, so I can't really claim myself to be Pop Daddy. But welcome back to Popcorn Poppin' late. Probably one of the first times I've ever been on a Monday. For personal reasons, I have been depressed. And I have also been very busy simultaneously. It's actually a good time to be depressed is when you're very busy. That way you can just busify yourself into not necessarily happiness, but into I'm so busy, I don't have time to be sad. So I have been very, very busy, and that's why you didn't get the episodes on Saturday or Sunday. Had a lot planned, didn't do them. And by one of the plans that I had, of course, was to actually film sketches, all of that, but also see a lot of the movies that I had talked about seeing this week. And I didn't, because I literally didn't have time, which is good. So I think from now on, we're going to limit expectations about actual things that we're going to watch each week, especially because I'm doing more filmmaking now. Of course, these films and stuff that I'm working on, these sketches that I've been working on aren't Jermaine Higgins brand necessarily. They're with other people at Planet Ant specifically. But, this is good. This means that I'm working hard because the whole point of this was to have a reason to film every week. And I'm already filming every week. So maybe the show will get canceled. I doubt it, though, because I really love this. I really love movies. I really love TV. And there is so much TV and movies in the world. You don't have time to figure out which movie to stream, what show to binge, or whether you should go out to see this or that on the big screen or this on the small screen. There's too much content in the world, and you can't be wasting your time. So let me waste my time for you by watching all that looks vaguely interesting and advise you on what's popping and what ain't. Tonight, we'll be talking about some movies and some television shows. But first, let's talk about some news. What news, you may ask? Well, first of all, the striking news is that 86% of the votes went through for the deal to ratify. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but basically the strike is over. There was a vote. The vote's in. Actors can do shit now. That's why you're seeing more actors talk on TV, specifically like late night shows and whatnot. They're actually being able to do interviews. And that's why you're seeing like a slew of trailers come out and like all these news of like, hey, this movie's coming out this day. Hey, they began filming on this day. I know some people actually don't know about this strike, even though it's been going on for the past 120 days. But in case you didn't know, surprise, that's why all this shit's coming out all at once. It's just a big cacophony of stuff. So the reason that we're talking about a little bit of it tonight, and I doubt I think this is going to be the last bit of striking news. We've been doing striking news every week for the past like 3 or 4 months, but we don't need to anymore because the strike is over. However, one thing I wanted to address is that AI is the biggest issue. 14% of the Screen Actors Guild actually voted against the deal being struck. And I'm sure at least half of the 86% that voted for the deal just so they can get back to work. They're like, whatever, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care if we get raises or whatever. I need to pay my rent. I need to buy food. I need to Supply my family with life. So let's go ahead and get this deal through. However, 14% of the people did not like the, I'm sure they had other reasons, but the main thing that I had been reading about was the AI issue. If you don't know, artificial intelligence has made it very big strides, as of late. And one thing that is an issue is that digital replicas that can be created in details how studios would have to obtain clear and express consent from actors well in advance of having their likenesses captured. In some, but not all cases, the tentative deal would also require that actors be paid at least the minimum day performer rate, including residuals as applicable for the process of having their faces and bodies scanned. So basically, and there's a lot more to the AI shit. Like there's a lot of AI shit that could be possible that isn't really happening right now. Like the biggest thing that I know that it's happening is there's a sequel to Brightburn, the James Gunn produced R-rated superhero-esque film. It's very good. You should watch it. But anyways, they're making a Brightburn 2, and they're using a script that's written entirely from AI. So I'm a lot less excited for it because I'm kind of against it because of shit like this. It could potentially replace jobs. But one thing that's interesting about these digital replicas for actors in films is basically if you get Meryl Streep to act like sad about a scene and she was supposed to like scratch her eyebrow or something, they don't have to call her back in. If they did some sort of agreement with the actress, or if she like, I'm pretty sure that they can do this without actually getting explicit consent. It's like a honor system kind of thing. They can get an actor that kind of looks like her to do that and then just do a replica and basically paste her face over. It's like deep faking basically. And they can also do replicas of extras. They can bring in an extra for one day to do like a bunch of different things and then use that extra in a gajillion other things for background stuff. Like there's a lot of shit that AI can do. And I don't like it. I think CGI is really cool. I think that we can do a lot of cool things. And when it comes to like multiplying people for scenes that involve like a giant stadium and you don't want to pay all the extras, I dig that. I understand. But when you're actually replacing like heart and soul of a piece, I love live action films that do that themselves. I think that we should save all that other shit for like video games or, you know, animated films. But when it comes to live action films, I don't dig it. I don't dig what's going on with AI. But then again, we're not even there yet. It's all speculation, but it's probably going to happen because of how advanced it is. Moving on. The Marvels. I want to talk a little bit about the Marvels. All right. In case you didn't know, I thoroughly enjoyed the Marvels. I even went as far to say that I loved the Marvels. And you know why? Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And everyone I asked that's seen the movie has thoroughly enjoyed it. Granted, not that many people I know has actually seen the Marvels. And not that many people saw the Marvels. And not that many people saw the Marvels. It was a box office bomb. Apparently, it broke the record of worst MCU opening and the worst like second week as well after just happening, which is not a surprise. I think this is here's my thoughts. The internet hates women. And that's basically why the Marvels failed. Everyone hates Brie Larson for some goddamn reason. I don't know why. She's an excellent actress. She's an Oscar award-winning actress. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Did she win an Oscar? For Room? Yeah, she's an Oscar award-winning actress. She's an excellent actress. She's funny. She does drama very well. And she's smoking hot. Like, what is there to not like about her? I don't get it. She's an excellent actress. Anyways, Monica Rambeau, Teyonah Parris, excellent actress. I need to look up her name. Iman Vellani. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing your name. You're the best part of the movie. You're full of heart. You're full of soul. You're great on screen. Excellent job. And Teyonah Parris, again, excellent as well. There just wasn't as much screen time. And also her character is a little more two-dimensional than Captain Marvel. I mean, Captain Marvel's kind of two-dimensional in a way too, but Miss Marvel's dope. Anyways, my point is the whole reason I'm bringing all this up again is I'm seeing a lot of fucking articles about there being only one MCU film coming out next year. And I don't even know what it is. Oh, Deadpool 3 is the only MCU film coming out next year. And there's only one TV show coming out next year. Oh, and What If has been announced for December. So you can check out the trailer. I haven't watched it, but I'm very excited. And each episode will be released like day by day new episodes, which is pretty cool. My point about only Deadpool 3 coming out, a limited amount of MCU projects coming out next year is because everyone's blaming the Marvels. It's not the Marvels' fault. It's the people. Actually, it's not the people. The Marvels had nothing to do with it. All this shit got pushed back before the Marvels came out. It was when Bob Iger, whatever, came back to the studio after retiring and saying, yo, we're doing quantity more than quality. I think we should space this shit out, regroup, and actually work on each project and not just oversaturate the market with a bunch of Marvel shit, because it is a lot of shit. Granted, I want more than one movie and one TV show next year. I'd like 2 and 2 at least, but it's not the Marvel's fault. I hope that they do a Marvels 2, or would it be Marvel 3? I don't know. The Marvels and then a subtitle, I'm sure, but they won't. They won't. It's the proof is in the pudding. Unless they do amazing streaming numbers, it's no one's going to see it, and I don't think they're ever going to make it. And I think it's a real bummer because this was one of the most fun movies of the year, I'll say, but specifically of the saga, of this multiverse saga. It's one of the better projects. I don't give a fuck who you are. And most of the people that want to disagree with me hasn't seen the movie. But everyone that's seen I haven't met one person that said, I didn't like it, it was shit. Everyone that I saw, everyone that I knew that saw the movie, I think my tongue is turning into a knot, said that they thoroughly enjoyed it. So just fucking go see the movie. Please go see the movie. I might go watch it again just to get their numbers back up. Not that it'll help. But yeah, I just wanted to clear the air and tell you guys that the Marvels isn't the reason that they're slowing down MCU productions. They planned on doing that before the Marvels was even released. They shuffled around release dates and they pushed a lot of shit back, and they said, we want to release less before the Marvels was even brought up. So there you go. All right. Go see the Marvels. In other MCU news, I'm getting tired of people texting me and saying, hey, what do you think about Pedro Pascal being officially Reed Richards? He's not Reed Richards. He's in talks. And a lot of people get their dicks hard because they hear in talks and they think, oh, what's going to happen? Granted, I could be wrong about the following statement, but 100% of the time, there are rumors about an actor being cast as someone. They don't cast them. A lot of the times, and I wish I can remember this example, I've seen interviews with people that are like, yeah, I was in talks for that, but so was like 20 other people. And when you're in talks, that literally means that people were sitting around a table and they brought up your name. That doesn't even mean that they contacted the actor. That doesn't mean that they planned anything with the actor. That just means that they brought up the person's name. So Pedro Pascal may have been brought up to possibly be Reed Richards. What's going on with my voice, my talking? I feel like it's been more than a week since I've talked to you guys, and that's why I'm talking so weird. Granted, he might be Reed Richards, but he's probably not going to be Reed Richards, especially because he's in talks in the news. I'm sure some news person found out that his name was on a fucking list and just put that shit online, and then other websites, copied and pasted. Novocaine asked me earlier, what do you think of that casting, though? I don't know much about the Fantastic Four. I didn't read the comics, and the only movies, I only watched the movies that came out in the early 2000s and the latest Miles Teller one, which blew. But from what I know about Reed Richards, sure, Pedro Pascal can play him, I guess. But here's a few reasons why I don't think that's going to happen. One, I hope that we lean towards the MCU, really any of these big budget, big studio things. My mom asked me the other day, isn't it weird? And I thought about this the day previous. Isn't it weird that there's not really many famous young actors? Like, they're all in my age range, or mostly they're in their 40s or 50s. Granted, I'm younger, so I don't know the younger actors, but I don't know many household names. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Haley Steinfeld. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I never know. Florence Pugh. That's a good one. Millie Bobby Brown. That's a good one. But there's not like, I can only name like 10 as opposed to like the 60 others. So point being, let's hire lesser known actors. Why do we have to have well-established actors like Pedro Pascal? I love Pedro Pascal. Don't get me wrong. But he's in everything. He's in everything. And he can play any role. So like when I hear, what do you think of Pedro Pascal as? You don't have to finish the sentence. I'm going to say, yeah, he can play it. He can literally play any role. Reed Richards, the Reed Richards that I'm thinking of, sure, I can see Pedro Pascal playing it because he can play any role. But I feel like we can find someone else. I wouldn't be angry at all. I'd be a little excited if Pedro Pascal got hired for the gig, but I would rather us go for lesser known actors. Like Miles Teller was, I don't know how popular Miles Teller was. I mean, I almost said Drumline. Whiplash came out. Drumline 2, Electric Boogaloo. Drumline, Whiplash made him pretty much a household name, I'd say. But really Fantastic Four, like once you're a superhero, no matter how shitty the movie is, you're a household name. In any case, I just think we can do with someone else. Or just do John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. The fans have given you the blueprint of what we will go out and pay a ticket for. Why won't you just do it? Unless I see John Krasinski and Emily Blunt going, we just don't want to do it, then I see why you won't cast them. Otherwise, why won't you cast them? I'm not saying only do fan service, and I know there's a lot of shit that you'll watch where you're like, well, they obviously only do that for the fans. Like Patrick Stewart's weird cameo with John Krasinski in Doctor Strange 2. It was obviously fan service. Beast with Kelsey Grammer, that was fan service, but I don't know how well that did. In any case, just give us, we're giving you the blueprint. Give us what we want or not. I don't care. My whole point bringing up Pedro Pascal is you guys need to double check your sources and double check your reading because he's in talks. In talks does not mean shit. Tom Hardy is in talks for James Bond. He's been in talks forever. There's no fucking way they're going to get Tom Hardy to do it because Tom Hardy's too wild. He doesn't want to be chained to anything. And that's kind of why I think that Pedro Pascal isn't going to be Reed Richards. I think a lot of these big name actors that people are like, oh, like no one said this, but like, oh, George Clooney, this or this person, that. Don Cheadle is the main person you need to go to. Watch his interview with Kevin Hart. Watch his interview with almost anyone where he talks about the MCU. He'll tell you like, hey, I'm very grateful for this, but when you're in the machine, you're in the machine. If you're shooting a movie, if you're literally filming like right now, and I get a call from MCU, I have to get up and leave and go there. You are chained. Zoe Saldana talks about that too. Point being, I don't see Pedro Pascal as a person that wants to be chained to a dying studio. Maybe not dying is not the right word, but they're not the Robert Downey Jr. days. All right, moving on. More MCU news. Taika Waititi discussed possibility of Thor 5, and he said, I won't be involved. I'm going to concentrate on these other films I've signed on for. As for the next few years, the Jojo Rabbit director wants to focus on the film adaptations of Kazuo Ishiguro's novel Clara and the Sun and Alejandro Jodorowsky's novel The Inkle or The Insel. The Inkle? I've heard of this movie. I've heard of this novel. It's apparently a big deal. As well as continue to develop his highly anticipated Star Wars movie, which is still marinating. I've been writing it. So that's 6 or 7 years gone, Waititi explained. I'd imagine another Thor would be a lot sooner than that. But I love Marvel. I love working with them. I love Chris. If Marvel does decide to move forward with another installment of the Thor franchise without him, Waititi wishes them nothing but the best. I would never feel like they are cheating me. We're in an open relationship. And if it's like, if they want to see other people, I'd be happy for that. I'd still get back into bed with them one day. So he's taking it in high spirits, which is pretty cool. And I also don't see it. I think everyone fucking hated Love and Thunder, except for me. I loved that movie. And if you have a problem with that, you should probably stop watching Popcorn Poppin', because I loved Thor Love and Thunder. I loved it. In any case, I know all of you didn't like it, so I know that that's not a popular opinion. That's just something I'm going to have to deal with. We'll talk about the reasons why I loved it some other time, but Waititi's probably not going to be in it. If they even make a Thor 5, I'd be very surprised if they did. I think that Thor is just going to appear in a later project. Another person that got a person that's definitely not doing a specific Marvel movie. They announced quietly, because I found this out yesterday. They announced last week that Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the 2021 blockbuster smash, a movie that I only know a few people didn't like, that I loved, that showed really great signs for the multiverse saga. He was supposed to direct the next Avengers movie, the Kang Dynasty, which he is no longer directing. I don't think that movie's happening, period. But they kicked him off. He's not doing it, apparently. He is still working on the Disney Plus series Wonder Man for Marvel Studios. I don't know much about that. And he's also going to be working on the Shang-Chi sequel, if that's ever happening. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Marvel, but I understand Marvel's dilemma with the fuck's his name? Kang. What? Jonathan Majors. That took me a second. I understand their predicament with Jonathan Majors, that they might not do Kang Dynasty and they might walk away from Kang, which I really hope they don't. Controversy aside, I'm sorry, but this is my opinion. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I feel like let the courts tell us innocent until proven guilty. Having said that, he's innocent until proven guilty. Let's keep going with the Kang shit, because we're already so far into it. Or replace Kang. I don't want that to happen, but you guys have given us so much Kang shit that creating a whole nother storyline that's the main storyline that we never get to. We never get to the main storyline of these movies. We just so separated and introduced to all these other characters. We have no idea what's connecting all of them. That I'd rather Jonathan Majors just stay and you just keep the Kang Dynasty. Maybe not plan the Kang Dynasty per se, but like just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just know this director's out and I'm a little butthurt about it, but I will live. All right, no more MCU. Let's talk about Big Lil Lies. If you liked Big Lil Lies, you may have thought that they weren't going to do a season 3, but per Nicole Kidman at a Q&A at the CME Group Tour Championship, whatever the hell that is, quote, "I loved Big Little Lies. We will be bringing you a third one, just FYI." Well, that's something for you to look forward to. I really, really dug the first season. I did not watch the second season because I don't know why. I think it's because I heard things, even though Meryl Streep's in it. I don't know. I think I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't know about this, but the guy who directed it, I don't know if he wrote it, but the guy who directed it, he died. So that's why they didn't want to do a season 3, but apparently they want to get back into it. So apparently that's happening. I don't know how it's happening, but it's going to happen. Creed 4 is happening. Not much other news besides it's supposed to happen. I don't usually like doing the news because of hey, the new thing is this movie's happening. I don't like doing that because just because the studio or whoever said, hey, Creed 4 is happening, that doesn't mean the movie's going to happen. They've announced so many movies that are going to happen that never do. But the reason I'm going to mention this is because everyone's going to be talking about it. So I want to talk about it first. Creed 4 is supposed to be happening. A small interesting story. The only reason that I wanted to bring it up is because I think more people should see this movie. It is pretty good. I loved at least Sam Raimi. I still love him. He's still one of the goats of great cinema. And also he's like a style that I really like to bite off of. You can tell that some of my favorite directors have bitten off of too. Damn, I was really thirsty. He did a Western called The Quick and the Dead that starred Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio. And she revealed recently that she paid Leo and Russell Crowe's salaries for The Quick and the Dead. I think the studio said you can't have them. You'd have to pay them. And she's like, fine, I want them. So that's really, really cool. I don't know much about Sharon Stone. I've heard like kind of like crazy stories about her. I'm not into gossip, but the one gossipy thing I will say is hats off to you, my G. That's super fucking dope to trust or believe in actors so much that you're willing to sacrifice at least part of a paycheck to have them both in. So that's pretty cool. If you're interested in The Quick and the Dead, you can check it out on Philo. I never heard of it, but that's a thing. I have heard of it before. Or you can rent it for $4. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a pretty good, it's a pretty decent Western, and you get to see young Leo do young Leo shit. And finally, in news, Mark Ruffalo recently revealed that for the film Zodiac, which if you haven't seen, you should watch it. It's an excellent film about the Zodiac killer. One of the few films where I read a nonfiction book after watching it. Actually, no. Before the movie came out, I read the nonfiction book that the film is based off of called Zodiac. I highly recommend reading the book too. It's very interesting. Anything about the Zodiac killer is very interesting to me. And the only reason I was that super psyched for the film is because David Fincher is one of my favorite directors. He should be one of yours as well. And yeah. So anyways, the Zodiac film, which you can watch on Showtime, which means you should be able to watch it on Paramount Plus, I believe. I'm kind of confused about how Showtime and Paramount Plus work. But anyways, Mark Ruffalo's in it. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. Anthony Edwards and Robert Downey Jr. are in it. But he recently revealed that studios weren't coming to him in the way of just offering him roles. I'll never forget when they were negotiating my deal for Zodiac. The studio negotiator literally said to my manager, look, we don't give a shit about Mark Ruffalo. We don't even want Mark Ruffalo in this movie. So you're going to take what we're offering you or forget it. What I felt immediately in the film world is once you did one thing well, that's what they think you are. They will just come to you with that part over and over again. And I was like, no, my career is not going to be like that. I'm going to do as much as I can to try and make people see me in different ways so that I can do more over the years. And at the time, he was the rom-com guy because of 13 Going on 30, I believe. And I don't remember much of his earlier stuff, but he did do some rom-coms back in the day. As you can see from today, he's an excellent actor through and through. Just him in All the Lights You Cannot See or whatever with the blind girl. And, you know, him as the Hulk. Like, he can do comedy. He can do drama. The best drama you'll ever see him in is one of the most depressing movies in the world. I'm sorry, it's a miniseries. So it's even longer of a... It's like someone stabbing you and slowly just twisting the knife and rummaging it. It is so goddamn depressing, but he is amazing in it, and it's one of the best miniseries ever. It's called I Know This Much Is True. You can watch it on Max. I recommend it, but I don't recommend, like, if you're looking for a good time to watch it, because it's fucking depressing. He plays two roles, the star of the show and his twin brother. So check it out. I just thought that this story was kind of cool because you can get a little peek of the world of film and how hard it is to get more than just a typecasted role. And that sometimes you got to accept any deal that you possibly can in order to flex. Just like Jonah Hill. They offered him like $50,000, maybe even $5,000. I'm pretty sure it's $50,000. That is an extremely small amount of money for such a big blockbuster Scorsese film. But he took it because it's a Scorsese film and Leo's in it. And look at him now. Although he's not doing really good right now. But, you know, career-wise, it did him a lot of good. All right, now let's talk about the batch of what has been on. We're going to do things a little different, and I'm probably going to do this in the future with releases that are coming out next week. We're going to go in order of, hey, what can I watch Monday? What can I watch Tuesday? What can I watch Wednesday? Well, I'm going to do a batch of what I will watch over the course of the next few days. Tomorrow, there's nothing new, or there's nothing I'm going to watch because I'll be busy. But in any case, Wednesday, nothing I'm going to watch. Thursday on Thanksgiving will be the continuing season of Rap Shit, starring two 30-something-year-old Floridians who used to be friends in high school reconnect to start a rap duo career. Ada Osman and Chameleon and Jonica Booth. Probably mispronouncing all your names. I apologize. This is on Max Thursdays. I don't know if you remember, because I know that I have thousands of viewers, even though that ticker says 0. I was praising this show so much this first season. I loved the first season so much. The second season is not enjoyable. And the reason being is because these two are like not friends again yet. And it's driving me nuts. Like, I get that that's the point of this season. I'm sure they're not going to reconnect until the end, but the main character on the left, she's fucking unbearable, dude. She's going through a hard time and she's a very human character. And I get it. I get her character. But like, everyone's telling her, like, buck up, get your shit together. And she's just not doing it. And she's a very annoying character. The actress is doing a great job. And the writing of the character is done really well. I just need them to be friends again. I need people to get in the zone, auto zone. That's why I'm watching the show. I want to watch them. I want to watch them succeed. I don't want to only watch them struggle. And so far this season has only been struggle. So it's done well. It's just, I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. So we'll see how it goes. Max Thursdays. Invincible. This new season is very dope. Huge episode just happened. Maybe it's not that huge. Actually, no. The very last scene that they show in the episode was huge. Character returns. Spoiler alert, it was Omni-Man. We see Omni-Man. What's going on with Omni-Man? I think what I think is that Omni-Man is trying to do good. That maybe Mark changed his mind. And I don't know if I like that direction. I haven't read the comic book, so I have no idea where it's going. And hey, who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he's just like, whoa, yeah, well, after Earth didn't work out, I'm going to take over this world. But they don't know it yet, and then he's got to fight him again. In any case, I don't know what's going to happen with Omni-Man, but what's going on with Alan? Like, is he better not be. They better bring him back. I'm going to be pissed otherwise. Pissed. I don't think it's the end of him. I think he's going to come back. But, man, he got his ass whooped by some Viltrumites. Great show. If you haven't watched it yet, it takes place in a superhero world full of superheroes. This superhero's superhero dad is a bit of a dick, with voices like Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Zazie Beetz, Sandra Oh, and Seth Rogen, who executive produces the show as well. You can watch this show on Fridays on Prime. The Curse. I still haven't started the show, but it stars Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone with Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers who did Uncut Gems. An alleged curse disturbs the relationship of a newly married couple as they try to conceive a child while co-starring in their new home improvement show. The series is on Paramount Plus Fridays. I have read that this show is not that great, but I think I'm still going to love it. As long as I like it more than The Rehearsal. I think The Rehearsal is genius, but it's too much. I don't want to get into it right now. I think The Rehearsal is great. Everyone should watch it. Nathan For You is where it's at. Trust me, that's what you should be watching. But I am very ecstatic to watch this. I'm waiting for Patrick Kupiak to have some time to watch, or I'm sorry, me or Patrick Kupiak to have time to get together to watch the show. I think it will be popping. I don't know if it is popping right now, but according to the internet, it's not that great. But I think it's because it's a weird show and people aren't prepared for that. We'll see. It is Nathan Fielder's first scripted show, so I'm interested to see how it will pan out. And Lawman Bass Reeves, starring David Oyelowo as the legendary Lawman Bass Reeves, one of the greatest frontier heroes and one of the first black deputy U.S. Marshals west of the Mississippi River in American history. I watched the first 2 episodes of this, and I'm digging how they're showing him turn into this badass. Also, this character is really badass. Kind of funny at times, and times where he's not trying to be funny, I think. But just a badass character. I think they're about like 4 or 5 episodes in. You can watch this Sundays on Paramount Plus. I will say it is popping. If you like westerns, it's dope. The first episode is a very heavy origin story, but he's a runaway slave, and it's a lot more of an interesting origin story than I thought it was going to be, especially when it comes to slave stories. It's not my white half being like, oh, come on, black people, get over it. It's my black half being like, man, I don't want to watch slave porn. You know, like, there was this weird influx of like violent slave cinema coming out. Like Them was one. It was a great show, but it was so uncomfortable to watch. There's a few others. I don't want to get it. I can't remember anymore. In any case, the slave storyline that happens in the first episode is done very well. Stephen Wiggum, not Wiggum. What is his name? I have to give him his flowers because he's an excellent actor. Dennis Quaid's in the show. He plays an old cranky white guy. I was kind of excited for him to be in the show until like I saw him in it, and I'm like, you're okay in this. Donald Sutherland shows up. I forgot who Donald Sutherland plays. Probably a famous person. Barry Pepper is a good villain because he's like he's a bad guy, but like he tries to be like sympathetic in a way. What the hell? That's the other thing, guys. This episode's a lot less prepared because I haven't really wanted to do anything. This girl, Lauren Banks, who plays his wife, is really, really good. What the hell, man? Shea Wiggum. I was close. Shea Wiggum. Excellent actor. He's in the first episode. Anyways, watch the Sundays on Paramount Plus. It is popping. How popping is it? It's popping enough for you to at least try a couple episodes for sure. Rick and Morty. Huge episode 2 weeks ago. I did watch last night's episode as well. Last night's episode is pretty good. They had their clip show episode, which they do at least once each season. But 2 episodes ago was the return of Evil Morty, and they find the Rick who killed Rick's wife. And they not only do they reveal so much, but something big happens. A couple big things happen. It was a big episode. Like when they do the canon, I mean, every episode's canon, but when they do like the big, like, hey, what's going on with the main plot of the story episodes, they go horde, and they went horde a couple episodes ago. I don't know where the show's going to go from here, but they got 3 seasons left after this. So hopefully they can keep it going. How are you guys getting used to Rick's voice and Morty's voice? I'm getting more used to Morty, and I am getting more used to Rick. I still hear the difference, and it's driving me insane, but I'm settling into the new voices. I hope that I can continue settling in as well. I lost my spot. Stand by. We're at Rick and Morty. All right. I'm also kind of watching 30 Coins. I haven't gotten back to it in a couple weeks because there's so much to watch. But Bodies, I'm still trying to finish on Netflix. Honorable mentions of things I did not have time to see or I just didn't want to watch. Hunger Games, The Ballad of Something Something is in theaters right now. So kind of like last week, I want to watch this movie for the Hunger Games itself, for Peter Dinklage and for Viola Davis. I have no interest in actually paying money to watch this. But then again, I have the Stubbs A-list, so why not watch it? I'll tell you why not watch it. I didn't have that much time, and it's 2.5 hours long. I'm sure this movie's great in theaters, but I barely want to watch this movie. I overall do want to watch it because the Hunger Games themselves is cool. Like, I want to watch, like, them competing and killing each other to get the main prize and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about the politics except for in Catching Fire. That was my jam. But I don't care about like the overall thing that's going on in the world. I just want to watch the Hunger Games. But I decided not to see this because it's 2.5 hours long. According to IMDb, at least, it's just as good as 1. I don't know if that means it's good. But I think for this movie to be in the sevens, excuse me, I think for this movie to be in the sevens, that means that the movie is decent. So, in fact, I will say that I'm a little more interested in it because it's in the sevens. It's just a very obvious cash grab. I mean, most movies, most sequels, most prequels, most remakes are obvious cash grabs. But like the new Warner Brothers head said, like, I don't know why we're not making more Harry Potters and Hunger Games. We made $1 gajillion. It's because the story ended, my guy. Why would we make more of those? Money. Well, apparently this movie was #1 at the box office. So not that there's that much else to watch except for the marbles. Go see the marbles. Poppin' or not, do I think it'll pop? I think it'll be subpar, and I think the Hunger Games scenes are going to be dope. Especially because Francis Lawrence, who did Hunger Games 2 to now, is doing the movies again, and I like him a lot because he did Constantine and I Am Legend. He's a great director, even though 3 and 4 suck. But even he said, like, 3 and 4 weren't that great. So I think he knows his mistakes, and I think that he will bring more to the table this time around. I think the general consensus is that people don't really care about this movie, like me. But I will, if I have time, I will watch this movie. Will I go to the theaters to see it? Probably not. I think that time has passed, especially because there's some other movies that came out. Now, moving on to our Xmas list of the honorable mentions is Dashing Through the Snow, which is on Disney Plus right now. It stars Lil Rel Howery as Santa Claus and Ludacris as Dad. Not Santa's dad, a dad. I don't know what this movie's about. Probably some hijinks ensue. It looks cute. I just didn't. I really wanted to watch this, but I don't want to watch Christmas movies in November. I don't. I'll watch horror movies in September because I'll watch horror movies any day of the year. But I don't know. Watching Christmas movies in November is kind of like, I don't know. I'm not for that yet. So I'm gonna save this for December. What have I heard about this movie, you may ask? I think it will be poppin' for families because it is a family movie. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, this movie was a masterpiece. IMDb says it isn't that great. But IMDb isn't right all the time, especially with comedies or horror movies. They're pretty, what's the word? Unfair when it comes to those, if you ask me. I think it'll be poppin'. I think it'll be just fine. And that is just fine as well. Another Christmas movie that came out on Netflix is Best Christmas Ever, which stars Heather Graham and Brandy. I haven't seen Brandy in a very long time, and Heather Graham seems to be doing like a comeback with movies lately. Granted, they're more not independent, but smaller budget. I dig that we're seeing her again. I love Heather Graham. According to IMDb, it's terrible. It's got a 4.5. So maybe don't watch this. It looks like a Hallmark movie, but it's got a dope cast. Brandy, Heather Graham, Jason Biggs. I like Jason Biggs. And I don't recognize that mixed dude. I think he's mixed. Well, that's a lie. I recognize him, but I don't know. Oh, he's from Power. That's why. I don't know who he played on Power. Cristobal. Oh, Cristobal? That's funny. Interesting. Anyways, I think this movie won't be necessarily good, but it'll be feel good. And it's Heather Graham and Brandy. Why not? I probably won't watch this, but it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. And again, it's November. Let's wait till December. The Holdovers. I might go to the theaters sometime this week if I have time. I have a little vacation coming up next weekend, which I would like to use to not only relax and play Spider-Man 2 because I'm finally caught up, but I also am working on a Christmas special. It's not necessarily a popcorn poppin', but it is Jermaine Higgins. I don't know if I'm going to air it through popcorn poppin' or not, but anyways, that's what I'm doing this weekend. But I'll have a lot of time. I have like 5 days off, and besides hanging out with the fam, I don't have plans to hang out with anyone. So I think I'm filming one of the days. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about The Holdovers, which stars Paul Giamatti as a curmudgeon of an instructor at a New England prep school who remains on campus during Christmas break to babysit a handful of students with nowhere to go. This is directed by Alexander Payne, who is a really great director. He did Sideways, The Descendants, and Election. If you haven't seen Election, you really should. The Descendants is really good too, but you really should see Election with Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick. But this is The Holdovers. I hear it's really fucking good, and it looks really fucking funny. It looks funny, but it looks like a well-made indie. So I'm excited. This is in theaters now. Another movie I'm very excited for that I really should just go fucking watch it. I'm trying to watch this with someone for some reason, even though I watch all these other movies by myself. But it's called Dream Scenario. It stars Nicolas Cage as the hapless family man, Paul Matthews, who finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. This is in theaters right now. It looks really good. I love the idea. I think it's an interesting idea, and I overall thoroughly enjoy Nicolas Cage. And this looks like a very subdued Nicolas Cage with a weird voice, but still subdued. This guy appears in people's dreams, even people he doesn't know. But I think he doesn't do anything until one day he does. In any case, interesting idea. I'm down for the plot, and I am down for the actor as well. Dream Scenario in theaters now. Your Lucky Day, not his, sadly. Angus Cloud from Euphoria, his posthumous, you know what I'm trying to say. Posthumously, he died, and in real life, and he starred in this fairly good-looking film called Your Lucky Day, about when a dispute over a winning lottery ticket turns into a deadly hostage situation. The witnesses must decide exactly how far they're willing to go and how much blood they're willing to spill for a cut of $156 million. This is in theaters right now. I want to watch this. It looks decent, and it's a pretty interesting storyline. It seems to all take place in a gas station in one night, and you know me, I love one-day movies. So hopefully it's good. I think it will pop enough, and also I think just watching it just for his acting is another reason, because he don't get me wrong, he's great in Euphoria, but I feel like his character doesn't have that much room to flex his acting abilities, and I think we can see more of that flex in this starring role. So I'm pretty excited to watch Your Lucky Day. I probably will wait for streaming. So far, what I'm going to go to the theaters for is The Holdovers, Dream Scenario, and probably not Hunger Games. What else is in theaters? Well, before I tell you what else is in theaters, here's what's on TV that I will watch, because Patrick Brammall did No Activity, which I highly recommend you to watch. It's hilarious, but it's called Colin from Accounts. It's about Ashley and Gordon are brought together by a car accident and an injured dog, and learn to navigate life together through showing their true selves, scars and all. This is positively reviewed, highly rated on IMDb, and Patrick Brammall, who's the star there, he is a great writer. So even though I wasn't that interested in the trailer, I will check this out on Paramount Plus. New episode, maybe the whole show is on there, because I think this is a BBC show, but it premiered November 9th, so maybe new episodes on Thursdays. In any case, you can watch it now on Paramount Plus. The other movie that's in theaters, I don't think it's in theaters around me, but it's called May December. I think this is going to be really good, and I think Todd Phillips directed it. He's an excellent director. He did In the Bedroom, other things. But this stars Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. Or Natalie Portman seems to be trying to steal this bitch's life. That's what it seems like. It looks like a pretty good thriller. I try to stay away from the trailer because I don't want to know what happens in the movie, but it looks pretty good. Natalie Portman looks very creepy in it. And I love Natalie Portman. And I love Julianne Moore too, to be honest. But I like watching Natalie Portman and not the basic, like, regular hero roles. I like the complicated roles. And this looks like a complicated character. I'm not going to... I'll watch this for Conan. Conan's in this. It's called Foggy Mountain. I'm sorry. Please Don't Destroy. The Treasure of Foggy Mountain. If Please Don't Destroy doesn't sound familiar. They are basically the Rent a Lonely Island group. They do the digital shorts on Saturday Night Live. which I have not watched a new episode of that in a long time. I'm going to have to because they got good hosts. And I'm in sketch comedy. I should watch sketch comedy. In any case, they made a movie. Props to them. I've watched some of their sketches. They're funny. They're just not Lonely Island. And I keep comparing them to Lonely Island, so it's really hard for me to separate the two. But they are very talented, so I cannot take that away from them. This movie looks okay, but Conan's in it, so I'll probably watch it. You can watch it right now on Peacock and let me know if I should watch it. The Crown, the final season, part 1, is on Netflix right now. I have not much to say about it. If you haven't watched The Crown, I recommend giving it a try. It is an excellent show. I will say that. The problem is, and I couldn't get through it, maybe one day I will try. There's a lot of staring. There's so much staring. So it's an hour-long series, and I think that they tried to fill in the minutes with staring. Like, lots of staring, guys. I'm not joking. I bring this up to everyone that watches The Crown, and they're like, you're right, there is a lot of staring, and it is annoying. Like, people know this. There's so much staring in this show. Think about it. There has to be a lot of staring. Like, you might think, like, dude, Tony's crazy. If I'm... it would be insane to quit a show over some staring. There would have to be a lot of fucking staring in a show for me to quit. This is one of them. It's so well made, too. And I don't give a shit about the royal family. I really don't. I do not care about them. Princess Diana I was interested in when I was younger, and I can see the show veers heavily towards Princess Diana. However, it's so much staring. But I will probably check it out someday. You can watch it right now on Netflix. Part 2 of the final season comes out December 14th, so you got plenty of time to catch up. All right, the Spotlight Films, what we're going to talk about tonight. Thanksgiving. If you haven't seen Grindhouse, you must watch Grindhouse. It is on Tubi, and it is basically 2 movies with fake trailers in between. Robert Rodriguez directs Planet Terror, the first film, and Quentin Tarantino directs the second film, Death Proof. I recommend both of them. Planet Terror is a lot of fun too, but I think Death Proof is slept on. I'll tell you the truth. Quentin Tarantino says he wished that he did that film differently, apparently, and I totally disagree. That film is damn near perfect. I love that movie. It's not heavy action. There is a lot of dialogue, but it's Quentin Tarantino, guys. Great music. Oh my God, it's such a great fucking movie. It's with Rosario Dawson, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's a great movie. Kurt Russell. Check it out. Anyways, some of the fake trailers included one by Edgar Wright called Don't, which he better fucking make a movie out of it, but he said he's not going to. I think that these movies prove that you can and you should do that. Rob Zombie did a fake trailer. I don't think he ever made a movie out of his fake trailer. Robert Rodriguez did with Machete. Machete was originally a fake trailer for Grindhouse. And now we have Thanksgiving, which was a fake trailer directed by Eli Roth, who, if you like Bobby Lee and you listen to Tiger Belly, or even if you don't, and you like Eli Roth, check out the Tiger Belly episode where he has an interview with Eli Roth. It's really, really good. You can see his passion and love for film, and it's really cool. It makes me feel like a non-movie watcher because he brings up so many movies that I've never heard of. Like, you think I watch a lot of movies? I don't scratch the surface because what I like to do is keep up with contemporary, which, dude, I mean, we've proven that I'm watching less and less. Mostly because I'm getting busier and busier, but also we're declining when it comes to great films. So that is something to consider, to try to make this half contemporary with things that are big or independent or just good, instead of talking about all these movies that are bad, and have half as like, hey, let's go back in time and watch these other movies. If you agree, if anyone's watching, make sure you let me know that. Anyways, Thanksgiving. It is a stupid comedy. It's super fun. I loved it. And I highly, highly recommend, I wish I would have done this episode last Friday when it came out, because no one's going to go see this movie. And I want everyone to go see it in theaters. And I rarely say that, especially with a horror comedy. But the theater was packed. Like, everyone was there. Luckily, I didn't have anyone sitting next to me. I don't like sitting next to strangers. But I really wanted to see this with someone. Like I didn't ask one person to go see this with me. And I wish I did, because the theater experience of watching this movie was fantastic. One of my favorite movies to watch in theaters, because it's a wild movie. And I don't think anyone in the theater was expecting it. And I recommend watching the fake trailer before watching the movie, because they reference the fake trailer. Like there's a trampoline scene that they pushed out of doing something, but I see why they did it. I think that it's poor for the climate of today. But in any case, it's so good. It's so good. I will say I think it's an hour and a half long. Let me double check. It felt a little too long, but that's because it's a stupid comedy, and usually stupid comedies overstay their welcome a little bit. It's an hour and 46 minutes. They could have cut out 15 minutes for sure. The second half, you're kind of like, okay, I get it. Let's wrap it up. But it's great. I love it. Everyone should go see it. If you don't like violence, don't watch it. The first half has cheesy violence. Basically, I should probably tell you what the movie's about. The movie is basically a Thanksgiving horror film. Eli Roth wanted to make a horror film about Thanksgiving. There's only like 2 of them, and he wanted to make one. And it's a slasher film. So it is very much like Scream, where you're trying to figure out who the killer is. And it's like ridiculous in the most fun way. Like the beginning of the film, you're like, okay, I see these characters, these teenagers that are really fucking annoying, and this small town, and Black Friday's happening. And at first you're like, is this a movie about Black Friday? But the killer is killing people because Thanksgiving has basically been wiped away by the consumerism that is Black Friday. So they have a ridiculous Black Friday scene where people rush in and people die shopping, and people like walk over people and they don't care. And it's done so beautifully, because you're watching a movie that seems really fucking normal, where you're like, okay, this is a regular horror movie. But once this Black Friday scene happens, you're like, oh, this is a stupid movie. Awesome. But they still level out the stupid and ridiculous with like, oh shit, this movie scared me one point. Like, I've told you sometimes where I've jumped, and usually my jumping, I'll be like this. Oh shit, you got me. The editing, I remember it specifically. The editing tricks you. And I won't tell you which scene it is, because I don't want to ruin it for you. But there's a scene where you think that they're gonna follow a shot a long time, but the jump scare happens so quick that I was like, oh shit! Like that scared the fuck out of. I said out loud, it scared the fuck out of me. It was very well done, Eli. That rarely happens to me. But the second half of the film, it gets like scarier and like more uncomfortable. And Eli is more of a torture porn horror director, which is something I don't necessarily like. Like Hostel 1, the first time I watched it, I really disliked it, because I was like, I don't know, it seems like just torture porn. And then I watched 2, and I'm like, I don't know, 2 is really fucking good. And I rewatched 1 and I liked it. But 2 is better. In any case, the second half is a little more torture porn. Even though the first half has ridiculous, long, really violent scenes, you can tell how fake they are. The second half, the violent scenes that happen, you're like, whoa, dude, this is fucked up. Like, fucked up in a great way. My only criticisms are there are no main characters that you really care about, so you don't care if they live or die until the second half. And the killer's like costume looks too much like V for Vendetta. And except for when the mask burns, I thought that was a cool touch, and they should have kept it that way, and they didn't. And I did see the killer coming. It's like it has to be this person. There's no other reason for this person except for that. And when that person is noticeably the killer, the acting is really fucking good. Like really good. And I can't say much else. I was surprised how good the acting was, though. I can't say. Even though I like this actor, I've never seen this actor do something like this, and they did a very good job with it. It makes room for a sequel. Like, even though a lot of people die in this movie, a lot of people don't die in this movie. I'm pretty sure this did decent at the box office, so hopefully they will make a sequel, and I'm all for it because it's super fun. So, Poppin' or not, it is poppin'. If you don't like violence, don't watch this movie. But if you want to watch a violent movie with the fam, or just a violent movie with your friends, or just a violent movie by yourself, go to the movie theater and watch Thanksgiving. It's fucking dope. I loved it. And I rarely say that about new movies these days. I loved this movie. So good. So good. I'm glad I made time to watch it. I almost didn't watch it this weekend, and I'm glad that I did. It was a busy weekend. All right, while we're on the subject of Thanksgiving movies, because Thanksgiving is only a few days away, if you don't have options or you don't want to watch a horror movie, here are some other movies I'd recommend for you to watch for Thanksgiving. The GOAT is one that we all talk about all the time, and that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring John Candy. Sorry, that was a weird hiccup. John Candy and Steve Martin. It's John Hughes, actually. I always forget about that. You can watch this on Paramount Plus or Pluto. Pluto's free, so you probably want to watch it on that. Great buddy comedy. Excellent. Watch it. It still holds up. They're supposed to be doing a remake with Kevin Hart and Will Smith, and I'm all for it, but I don't know what's going on with that movie. I think Kevin Hart commented on it in the beginning of this year and said it's slowly in development, like it's still going to happen. But I don't know, man. It's been a long time. Anyways, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is popping. I highly recommend it. Tower Heist is fun, but it's not one of the best movies in the world. It is fun, and it takes place on Thanksgiving. You can watch this on Hulu right now. It stars Eddie Murphy, Ben Stiller, Matthew Broderick, and Alan Alda. This was originally, and I wish it would have held up, originally when Eddie Murphy was a part of this film, it was supposed to be an all-black cast performing a heist. It went more of an Ocean's 11 style. Eddie Murphy left. Brett Ratner came in, and then Eddie Murphy came back in. I wish they would have kept it an all-black cast. Again, I think the movie would have been better. But it's a decent movie. You just wish that it was a little better, you know? But it's decent. You can watch this on Hulu right now. Another Thanksgiving film, Black Friday. Now, this is low rated online, but I have a feeling it's really fucking good because it stars Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa, Casper, guys. He's the guy from Final Destination. And Black Dynamite himself. I forgot his name. Michael J. White, right? Yeah, Michael J. White. I mean, come on. That's a great cast. I hear it's not that great, but it looks pretty funny. Check out the trailer. Check out the trailer and tell me it don't look funny. It looks very independent, like too independent, but I'm down. I think it's going to be fun. And you can watch this on Crackle or Plex for free. Another Thanksgiving movie. I don't know how this is Thanksgiving. But I will say I've watched this with my family a couple times because it's a very well-made film. It's called Prisoners. It's a drama, not a feel-good film. You can watch this on Netflix right now. I don't want to give away what it's about, but it does have Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. Paul Dano is excellent in it. Terrence Howard, really great in it. You're not going to like his character. You're going to call him a bitch, but he's really good in it. Viola Davis, is she in this? I guess I can look in the I'm trying to look at the small font. Yeah, that is Viola Davis. Maria Bello. Yeah, it's a great film. Check it out if you haven't watched it. Soul Food. Not a Thanksgiving movie necessarily because I don't think it takes place on Thanksgiving, but it's food related. And it's a great family film. One of the best movies ever. I've watched this movie 1,000 times when I was a kid. I love this movie. Sadly, this isn't on any streaming service. You can rent it for $4, but it's about a close-knit Chicago family where I don't want it's a multi-canvas film. A lot of storylines happen, but the cast alone, it's directed by George Tillman Jr., who did, I want to say he did a few 90s movies. Like, did he do like one of the wedding movies? No, he did. He did Men of Honor. I love that movie. That's a great film with Cuba Gooding Jr. He did Big George Foreman, which was all right. The Hate You Give, Episodes of Power, trying to look. Notorious. He did Notorious. I thought he did one more. Nope. Men of Honor was what I was thinking of. Anyways, this movie stars Nia Long, Michael Pfeiffer, Vanessa Williams, Michael Beach. It's a great film. The show wasn't bad either. It was on BET. I don't know how long it went on for, but I watched a lot of it. It was actually really good. I was surprised. When I heard about it, I'm like, this is stupid because none of these actors are in the show. I don't think so anyway. But the show was really good. I don't know if it's still available. But anyways, watch the movie. Rent it for $4. It's worth it. It's a great family film. Although there are 2 sex scenes. One with Nia Long that's very small and short and more comedic. It's not very sexy. There's another one that's really sexy that's very long. That may be uncomfortable to watch with your family. But excellent movie. Watch it. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is a Thanksgiving movie, but I Googled Thanksgiving movies and this came up. I love this movie. If you like Wes Anderson, you'll probably love this movie. If you don't like Wes Anderson, I think you'll like this. Stop motion. Great cast. George Clooney, etc. It's really good. I don't have much else to say because I've seen this movie 1,000 times. It's very, very good. You can watch it on Max, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, it's on Max and maybe Hulu. I'm not sure. If you like Wes Anderson, you're like, I did not see Friendsgiving, but they made a Friendsgiving movie. I watched some of it. It was okay. I didn't shut it off because I didn't like it. I just paused and I never came back. It's got a pretty good cast. Andrew Santino. I can't remember Lana's name. What is Lana's name from Archer, guys? Anyone remember? Let's see. Oh, I'm so tired. I gotta go to bed. This movie's on Tubi. Malin Ackerman. Oh, Wanda Sykes is in this? I didn't get that far. What is your name? Aisha Tyler. That's their name. I forgot. Margaret Cho's in this? Dion Cole. Kat Dennings. I don't really know. Wow, they don't even have Andrew Santino's name on the cover. Unbelievable. Anyways, check. You can maybe check this movie out. I think this is it's a Friendsgiving movie. It's probably good. Christine Taylor's in it too. Instant Family. I haven't seen this, but I hear it's good. It's got Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne. I believe this is on Disney Plus. Let's find out. Fubo and Paramount Plus. I hear it's really good. It's a family movie. The Oath. This is a movie. I love this movie. I haven't watched it since it came out. It's stars Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish. It's on Fubo. No, it isn't. That's a different one. Film. All right, you'd have to rent this. What the fuck? Yeah, you have to rent this for $4. It's a dark comedy about the politics of a family dinner. So it's about a family fighting over politics. It's really fucking good. I highly recommend it. All right, now we're on to back to what came out this week. Next Goal Wins. It was directed by Taika Waititi, who we talked about earlier. He's a phenomenal director. This movie's a lot of fun. Poppin' or not, I'll say it's poppin', but I'm going to tell everyone you don't need to watch it in theaters. I'm kind of angry that I'm not angry. Angry is not the right word. There's just 4 movies that came out last week, and I only had time to see 2 of them, and I wish I would have swapped this one out for something else. It's very enjoyable. Michael Fassbender is very good in it. He plays the straight man comedy role, and he's very good. This is about a real-life American Samoan soccer team that didn't make a goal for 20 years, and there was one state championship. It started with a championship where they had over 20 points scored on them and they made zilch 0. So at the very end, 20 years later, they hire a coach to try to make a goal. And it's based on a true story. It's very interesting true story. I highly recommend it to watch streaming. I wouldn't watch it in theaters. And also, it's probably, and I'm not, this doesn't mean the movie isn't good. It's probably my least favorite Taika Waititi movie because I think it just has too much heart in a way. Like, it's a family film for sure. Like, they might say fuck a few times, but it's super dope. Taika is really finding his, like, the little Taika things. Like, he's starting to play characters that narrate the story. And I kind of dig like that he's making his own style. It's a lot of fun. It's in theaters right now if you're interested. It's a lot of fun. I just wish I would have seen something else in theaters besides this. All right. Rustin is on Netflix. I have not watched this yet, and I really wanted to. I just didn't have time. But this is something I would have rather watched besides Next Goal Wins. This is about Bayard Rustin, who's the advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. It stars Coleman Domingo, who you may know from Euphoria and other things. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, who was directed by George C. Wolfe, who also directed this movie, Rustin. This also has Chris Rock. I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm down. It is a good Black history film. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm sure I'll like it a lot. You can watch it on Netflix right now. Blackberry, I really wish I would have watched this on AMC Plus right now. It's about the story of the Blackberry. I hear it's really, really good. It stars Glenn Howerton, a.k.a. Dennis Reynolds, and Jay Baruchel, a.k.a. Jay Baruchel from This Is the End. It's on AMC Plus right now. And I really wanted to watch this. I hear not great things, but I hear not great things about Mark Duplass films all the time when he is actually an excellent filmmaker. I don't think he directed this. I think he just wrote it. But it stars him and Sterling K. Brown as the last men on Earth, and hijinks ensue. I think it's I think it will pop, and it's on AMC Plus right now. Next, Limelight shows. This was the show I was so excited about. I was so excited that I had Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla King of Monsters playing, and I was so excited for it. And it's 2 episodes out right now on Apple TV Plus. You can watch new episodes on Fridays. It stars Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell playing the same character in 2 different timelines, even though the show features multiple timelines. That makes the show very confusing. It's called Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm not a fan. I will keep watching, and it's okay, but it's just okay. Like, I'm very disappointed with it. Because when I first, it's like you got to go with your gut. When I first heard about this show, I was like, this show isn't going to be good. And then I heard about the Wyatt and Kurt Russell casting, and I'm like, that's a really good idea. And I watched the trailer, and I'm like, this looks really good. The issue with the show is we know who Monarch is. And the first couple episodes is, who's Monarch? What do they do? What's the mystery? Like, we know that there are monsters. Just get to the point. Like, it's too much mystery, and we know already. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid that it's a mystery show when we know what the answer is, and like they try to make it more thrilling. Like, oh, what do these documents say? Oh, more like clues. Like, it's not. I'm not impressed. This does have Durs in it and Kiersey Clemens. So there's that. I don't really care for the show, though. I'm more excited about Godzilla -1, which is coming out in a few weeks. I'm very excited for that. Anyways, you can watch this on Apple TV Plus. I'll keep watching it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. And Kurt Russell just got introduced, so maybe the show will get better. But I'm the timelines are confusing. Very confusing. Which may be cooler later. Maybe I'll have some cool reveals. But I'm not that invested in this show right now. Poppin' or not, I will say not popping right now. But to be poppin'. To be poppin'. I don't know. I'll workshop it a little more. A Murder at the End of the World. I like this show a lot. This is on Hulu and FX. Hulu, Tuesdays? Yeah, Tuesdays. So I get to watch a new episode tomorrow morning. Dope. Basically, so Britt Marling and her writing partner, Zal, I can't pronounce his last name, nor do I have it written down here, and I'm not Googling anything anymore. I'm getting tired. They did the OA together, the film Sound of My Voice, and another. Actually, I don't think they did Another Earth together, but Brett Marling did Another Earth. Great movie. You should watch it. But the OA, I didn't watch the second season, but I loved the first season. They work very well together. And they wrote and directed this show, which is basically like Clue or any other murder mystery. It's a murder mystery. And, it's the plot of receiving an invitation to a rich home, and everyone, and they're all the suspects are strangers, and most of them are rich. It's like Knives Out too. And someone ends up dead, and they're all stuck at the place, and they try to figure out who's the killer. That's basically the storyline in a nutshell. Clive Owen plays like the head of the house. This chick's been in a few things. Emma Corrin, I think her name is. She's I got to give her flowers. She's very good in it. This also has the guy from what's that movie called? Triangle of Sadness. It's that young actor. He's really, really good. He's in this show too. The flashbacks are actually kind of interesting, but I'm more interested in what's happening in the present time. Jermaine Fowler's in this show. That was a pleasant surprise. And Alice Braga. So it's got a pretty cool cast. Britt Marling plays a side character who I wish was in it more. Everyone's annoying on the show, though. That's the only problem. But I dig it. It's a fun mystery. Check it out. It talks about AI a little bit, and that's kind of annoying. And I'm thinking that's what the show is actually about. And I don't like that. But in any case, it's pretty dope. Check it out. Hulu. Scott Pilgrim takes off. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. When I first heard about this, I was excited. I watched the trailer, and I was like, I don't know about this animation. I'm not that excited about it. But I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Edgar Wright's one of my favorite directors. Thus, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is one of my favorite movies. It's so well made. And I like the comic book series, or the graphic novels, whatever you want to call them. Brian Lee O'Malley was heavily involved in this show, and Edgar Wright was involved with the show, and it brings the entire cast of the movie in it. So what's there not to like, Tony? I just think the animation doesn't look that good, I guess. I don't know. But apparently it's 8 episodes long, and according to the internet, actually, the show is really fucking good. It's higher rated on IMDb than it is than the movie. So I'm much more interested in it now. The only reason I haven't started it yet is because I want to rewatch Versus the World. Like, I know that movie backwards and forwards, but it's been a hot minute since I watched it. So I want to watch it again before I watch the series. It's not a sequel. It's like a retelling. And I'm assuming that it has more shit from the graphic novels in the show, which is cool. But you can watch it on Netflix right now. All right, what's coming out next week? Let's go through this fast so I can go to bed. I'm supposed to be cooking. I'm not cooking. I'm so tired. Which means I probably got to throw away. I hate myself. Anyways, what's coming out next week? I will definitely be seeing Napoleon, which is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Joaquin Phoenix. Poppin' or not. Apparently, the movie is 2.5 hours long to 3 hours long. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Like, my mom wants to go see it Thanksgiving after dinner. And here's a little tidbit. Don't plan movies after Thanksgiving. You eat turkey, you get tired. You're not going to want to do anything. You got the day off. You don't want to spend the entire day with your family. You just want to hang out. Granted, every year, my mom always says I'm too tired to see this movie. And usually I'm like, I'll go see it. But I'd, of course, rather be at home, snuggled up, not working. But we're not seeing this on Thanksgiving. I don't know what day we're seeing this. But I will see this. When I originally heard about it, I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't even know if I like Ridley Scott anymore after House of Gucci. But I watched the trailer, and you know me. You know me. I don't watch trailers, but Vanessa Kirby looks like she does a really good acting job in it, and she looks really good in it, too. Like whenever I say shit like this, I understand it's 2023. Also, I'm a dude. I'm not saying like that means I get to objectify women, but she is playing a sexy role. Like, watch the trailer. Anyways, also the movie looks really good. Like, it just looks good. I don't know anything about Napoleon Bonaparte, whatever the hell his name is, this short motherfucker. But it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. So I think it will be popping. I think it will be well deserved to see in theaters because there are war scenes. But keep in mind, it's a long movie. But Ridley Scott may have brought back his mojo. Next movie that's coming out Wednesday is Wish. This is a Disney movie. It's not Pixar. I thought it was Pixar. But this looks cute. She makes a wish. That's all I know about it. Looks all right. Poppin' or not, I think it'll be poppin' enough for your family, especially Thanksgiving week. You want to go you want to go take your movies to go see a movie? This is probably the movie you want to go see. Next. Streaming wise, Good Burger 2 comes out Wednesday on Paramount Plus. How will it be? It's kind of made for us, the 90s kids. Will it be good? It's probably not going to be that good. Like, if you think about it, Good Burger wasn't that great of a movie. But, you know, it'll be fun. Kel looks weird. And I'm allowed to say that because he made fun. Like, when the trailer came out, people said that he looked like an old ant or something. He does look like he looks like an old ant, or maybe not an old ant, but he looks like an ant. I don't know. He looks weird, but popping or not, it'll be nostalgic for us, and I think that's all that matters. Leo comes out tomorrow on Netflix. Cool. I'm actually excited. I do have something to watch tomorrow. This is the first Happy Madison animated film. Adam Sandler, of course, will be voicing the tortoise Leo, and the other one, that lizard thing, is Bill Burr. Or wait, Leo's the lizard and Bill Burr's the turtle, I think. I don't know. I don't think Bill Burr's in it that much, though. Stars Leo and stars Adam Sandler. It's on Netflix tomorrow. Poppin' or not, it's going to be poppin', especially if you like Happy Madison. I think even if you don't like Happy Madison, and since it's an animated movie, it'll still be a lot of fun. Next. All right, here are some documentaries that are coming out or are already out. I got to get back into documentaries because I'm including more and more in the popcorn pop, and I think it means I want to watch more. Inspired by the book of the same name by Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, Oscar award-winning filmmaker Roger Ross Williams, stamped from the beginning, explores the history of anti-Black ideas in a way that helps us grapple with present-day racism. So it looks like a very heavy documentary, but it looks really, really good. This is on Netflix right now, actually. Bye Bye Barry, the Barry Sanders documentary. It's on Prime right now. Mike Birbiglia's stand-up or just storytelling called The Old Man in the Pool. I remember hearing about this when it was on Broadway. I actually considered going. I want to visit New York City, just to visit New York City, but I want to go there with a plan or like things to see. And I wanted to see this, and I hear remarkable things, honestly. But I like Mark Birbiglia a lot, so check this out. By the way, I started Matt Rife's new stand-up. It's okay. I only started it though. It's not bad. It's just he's a crowd work guy, dude. He's not I think he's a subpar stand-up comedian. And hey, I'm not hating because he's famous. Like, props to him. But he's definitely better at crowd work. I paused it to go watch Pete Holmes's new stand-up, and I didn't finish it because I had to go back to work. But it's so fucking funny. It's called I'm Not For Everyone. It's on Netflix. Anyways, Mark Birbiglia's new Netflix special comes out tomorrow on Netflix. Check it out. Maybe. Will it pop? Probably. I like Mike Birbiglia a lot. Squid Game, not season 2. I've been waiting for this for a while, and I think I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. I do not watch reality TV. I think when I get in a relationship again, I'm going to try to talk my wifey or my boo thing into watching reality TV because I want to get back into reality TV. When I was with Shay, we only watched like a couple episodes of some reality TV. But I really wanted to watch something with her. I miss you, Shay. But I really, really want to watch reality. Like, I want to watch The Bachelor with someone. But I will watch this by myself. I don't know if you remember, but Squid Game was so popular that they decided to make an actual Squid Game. Probably not killing people. Hopefully so. But they did it, and the show's coming out Thursday or Tuesday. What? Thursday on Thanksgiving. What a great show to watch with your family on Thanksgiving. I'm super stoked about it. It's called Squid Game: The Challenge. I think it's a great idea. I'm very excited to watch it. Hopefully they show a trailer of Squid Game season 2 at the end of it because I'm very excited for that. I think it will pop, and I'm not sure if they dropped the whole series on Netflix or what, but I'm very excited for it. Squid Game: The Challenge, Thursday. The Spotlight TV show that will be on Hulu, I think it's going to be on Hulu Wednesday, and it's going to be on FX tomorrow, is Fargo. The new season is going to be starring John Hamm. I've been watching I'm on the 5th episode of the first season. I've watched the whole series. I just wanted to rewatch it leading up to it, but I've been so busy that I haven't really had time. But you can watch the whole series on Hulu right now. You're not going to have time to finish it before the new season. I don't think it's a necessity to watch the whole series, but the show, because each season is kind of standalone, but they do all connect in a way. So I recommend watching the film, which is on Max, and I recommend watching the series, which is on Hulu. But if you want to just watch, if you don't want to watch all that shit, then tune in on FX tomorrow or check out the show on Hulu Wednesday. Obituary. This looks interesting. I don't know if it's going to be good though. I think the whole series is going to drop on Hulu Tuesday. 6 episodes long. It's about a girl who writes obituary columns, needs to keep getting paid, and she doesn't get paid unless people die. So I think you know where I'm getting at. It looks like a dark comedy. It looks pretty good. It also looks like it could be bad. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Tomorrow on Hulu, all 6 episodes will drop. 2 more and we're done. Looks like we're averaging to an hour 30. That's not bad. Although tonight's bad because I have work tomorrow. I have to get up in 5 hours. 6 hours. Faraway Downs. I don't know. This is the mini-series not adaptation. This is a longer version of the film Australia, which was from Baz Luhrmann that came out in 2006? Stand by. 2008. I was close. You can watch the film on Hulu, but you might as well just watch this miniseries. It's going to drop on Disney Plus. It's an epic movie, and I was like, this is a really well-made movie, but it's just long as fuck. So a miniseries is a better idea. Also, I like the first half of the movie more than the second half. Like most Baz Luhrmann films, the beginning of it is fun, and the second half is like really depressing. And this is no exception. Poppin' or not, I think it'll pop. Will I watch it? I don't know. The only miniseries I watched that's a longer version of an already long movie is Hateful Eight. And it wasn't that different, at least in my eyes. I don't remember it that well, though. But I was like, Australia wasn't one of my favorite films. But it was epic as fuck. So I'll say if you didn't watch the film, check it out on Disney Plus Sunday. Finally, we're at the end of our show. Fuck. I wanted to end before an hour 30 and we just went over. All right. Well, Doctor Who. I don't watch Doctor Who. I watched the first season of it, of the new Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who. I think it's really dope. It's just there's too much. That's so much television to consume that even I have trouble with it. But David Tennant's back again. He's the reason why I want to watch Doctor Who. And I'm fucking angry because he keeps showing back up, which means if I watch Doctor Who for David Tennant, I have to watch the entire series. Well, not the old ones, the old black and white ones. But the 60th anniversary is coming up, and they're coming out with 3 specials, all starring Doctor Who. All starring David Tennant as the 14th Doctor. He was the 10th Doctor before, so I don't know if he's playing a new Doctor Who or what. I don't know. The show's confusing. But yeah, if you like Doctor Who, check this out. It's gonna be on, I don't know, BBC. I don't know how you're gonna watch it, but you're gonna watch it. All right, guys, that's it. No one watched this episode because it's on a fucking Monday night at 9. I'll never do this again. I had to, though, because I have to do this weekly, unless I miss a week. And there was already I didn't want to talk about all this shit tonight and all the shit next week. So I thought, and plus Thanksgiving's coming up, so I thought it was good to talk about Thanksgiving shit. All right, I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching this, thank you for watching this. If not, I totally understand. More news to come. Have a good night, everybody.